Chapter 7 Phase Lock. The opposition formed quietly, not on the surface, underground, in Eden 12E's lowest strategic chamber, beneath layers of reinforced composite and radiation shielding. A council convened without public broadcast. Dr. Rowan stood at the center of a circular table of projected faces. Project Dawn Mirror was classified beyond your clearance, said Director Halberg, her expression sharp and bloodless. You were not authorized to access it. I accessed it under Emergency Survival Authority, Rowan replied evenly. Survival, Halberg repeated, or collaboration? A few council members shifted. Rowan did not. The flare would have reduced projected survival rates to unacceptable levels without surface intervention. Halberg's eyes narrowed. You are proposing integration. I am proposing resonance dampening through harmonic correction. Silence. You're suggesting we allow that girl to interface with the sun? Halberg said flatly. Rowan's jaw tightened. She is already interfacing. On the surface, Clara stood alone at the center of the basin. The forest had formed a wide arc around her crystalline trunks, rising like silent witnesses. Every 11 seconds, pulse. The rhythm had grown slightly stronger overnight. Not enough for panic, enough for certainty. Kale approached but did not step into the circle. You're going to try, he said. Yes. Mara stood farther back, arms folded, watching both Clara and the sky. What if it answers louder? Mara asked. Clara looked up. It already is. She closed her eyes. The pulse came again. Instead of absorbing it, she reached toward it, not physically, electromagnetically. She slowed her breathing to match the interval. 11 seconds. Inhale. 11 seconds. Exhale. Her skin brightened in synchronized flickers. Below ground, Rowan watched telemetry spike. She's attempting phase alignment, he murmured. Halberg's voice cut through the chamber. Terminate drone assistance immediately. Rowan didn't move. Negative. That is a direct order. And if we sever observational support, we lose data. Halberg leaned forward. You're gambling planetary stability on a mutation. Rowan's eyes remained fixed on Claire's vitals. No, he said quietly. On evolution. Clara felt it. The pulse was no longer external. It brushed against her internal bioelectric field like static before lightning. She extended her awareness upward. In her mind's eye, she saw it again. Magnetic loops on the sun's surface. Helios fragments orbiting like broken tuning forks. Thin threads of resonance connecting them. She adjusted, shifted her internal rhythm slightly faster. 10.9 seconds. Pulse. The external rhythm wavered. Kale saw it first. The forest glowed desynchronized for a fraction of a second. Mara stepped forward. Clara, I have it, Clara whispered. She nudged again. 10.8. The pulse resisted. Then it snapped into alignment. For a heartbeat, Clara and the sun moved together. Perfect phase lock. Across the sky, rural filaments ignited in clean, symmetrical arcs. Below ground, alarms flared. Magnetic coherence spike. A technician shouted. Rowan's breath caught. The amplitude wasn't increasing. It was stabilizing. The chaotic micro-fluctuations smoothed into a steady waveform. Halberg stared at the data. This is impossible. No, Rowan said softly. It's correction. Clara felt power flood through her, but not violently. Not like the flare. This was structured, ordered. Her cells vibrated in calm intensity. For the first time, the 11-second pulse did not feel invasive. It felt shared. She opened her eyes. The sky was clearer. The violet haze thinned slightly, as if atmospheric ionization had reduced. Kale exhaled slowly. You changed it. Clara shook her head faintly. We changed each other. Then the second pulse hit. Stronger. Not from the sun. From orbit. One of the Helios fragments flared bright white. Rowan's voice sharpened instantly. Fragment Delta 7 is amplifying. Halberg rose from her seat. Shut it down. We can't shut down debris. Delta 7 began oscillating violently, its magnetic coil remnants feeding on the stabilized resonance. Clara felt it as a distortion like feedback from a broken speaker. The clean phase alignment wavered. Kale grabbed her arm. Break it. If I break now, she gasped. The snapback could spike. Above them, Delta 7 emitted a narrow beam that lanced harmlessly into upper atmosphere, but its intensity climbed. Rowan calculated rapidly. It's acting as parasitic amplifier, he said. The fragment is feeding off the coherent waveform. Halberg turned cold. This is your evolution. Rowan ignored her. Clara, you must reduce amplitude without losing phase. She almost laughed. That's not how resonance works. The fragment flared brighter. Mara stepped into the circle beside Clara. Then we absorb it. Clara's eyes widened. If we ground the excess into the forest, we'll fracture half the basin, Kale said. Another pulse hit, harder. Clara felt strain in her bones, not burning, cracking. The sun itself remained stable. This was orbital feedback, human debris amplifying cosmic rhythm. Rowan made a decision. All drones converge on Delta 7. Apply counterfield at 90-degree offset. Halberg snapped. That could destabilize the entire debris chain. Yes, Rowan replied, but it might desynchronize the fragment. Above, drones streaked across the sky. Clara held phase lock by sheer will. 11 seconds. Pulse. Delta 7 oscillated at 11. She shifted slightly. 10.95. The sun resisted minimally. Delta 7 overcorrected. Its oscillation slipped. Rowan saw it. Now, he shouted. The drones emitted synchronized counterfields. Delta 7's glow flickered. Its oscillation collapsed out of phase. The beam dissipated. For 3 terrifying seconds, all magnetic readings spiked wildly, then dropped. Silence. Clara fell backward into Kale's arms. The pulse returned. Steady. Clean. 11 seconds. But softer now. As if the system had exhaled. In Eden 12's chamber, no one spoke. Halberg stared at the stabilized data. Resonance amplitude had decreased by 12%. Background solar variability normalized. Planetary magnetic stress reduced. Rowan closed his eyes briefly. She didn't escalate it, he said. She nearly destroyed us. Halberg countered. No, Rowan replied. Our debris nearly did. He looked around the chamber. We are not facing the sun as enemy. Halberg's voice was quiet, dangerous. You're suggesting we dismantle Helios entirely? Rowan met her gaze. Yes. Murmurs erupted. That structure is our last technological leverage. It is also the anchor of the resonance chain, Rowan said. On the surface, Clara sat upright slowly. Her glow had dimmed, but something fundamental had shifted again. She no longer felt like an accidental conduit. She felt calibrated. Mara knelt beside her. What did you learn? Clara looked toward the sky. The sun isn't trying to lock with us. She swallowed. We're the ones still holding on. Kale followed her gaze to the faint glint of orbiting shards. So we let go. She nodded. Rowan's projection appeared once more, less rigid than before. We're initiating a vote to dismantle remaining Helios fragments, he said. Clara searched his face. You'll lose your shield. Yes, and your control. A pause. We never had control. The forest pulls gently around them. 11 seconds. But now it felt natural, not invasive, not imposed. Clara stood slowly. If you dismantle Helios, she said, I'll hold phase while you do it. Rowan understood the cost embedded in that sentence. Continuous alignment, continuous exposure. You may not survive extended coupling, he said quietly. She met his eyes. Neither will we if you don't. Above them, Delta 7 drifted dim and harmless once more. But hundreds of fragments still circled Earth, echoes of arrogance. Mara placed a hand over Clara's heart. You don't carry this alone. Clara looked at the sky one last time that night. 11 seconds. Pulse. The sun burned vast and indifferent, but humanity's echo around it was finally weakening. Not by force, by choice. And for the first time since the burn, the sky felt negotiable.